Hi, everybody. I'm back. I'm back. It's a very, very dreary day here. So I apologize for the lighting ahead of time, but it just is what it is. So I'm back. There are a couple of questions that I'm going to be reading on today. So two people each have their own question. One person asked me to look into the financial systems that are being set in place. And they said, are we going to have a good system that works for the people? Or are we going to have like a central banking system? Because there's a lot of talk of that out there. And people are saying be very careful what you follow, right? So I did a reading about 8 months ago. And I had told her that I had done a reading about 8 months ago. And it's called Nasara. Well, actually, I couldn't remember when I did it. But I knew I did it a while back. And she went back and found it. And she let me know that it was 8 months ago that I did it. And in that reading, I don't like to label things when I'm manifesting. Because I always think if I put a label on it, my mind, my consciousness may not have any contrast, right? To understand something fully just yet. And if there's something out there in the ethers that's trying to come to me, and all of us, because this is for all of us, this is humanity, and I'm putting a label on it, and the label doesn't match the vibration of what it is, then that can create a wall of resistance, right? So that's how I look at it, and that's how I manifest. But I labeled it Nasara because that's what everybody was talking about. And what I did was I delved in to see if we have a financial system in the works that is for the betterment and for humanity's best interest, highest and greatest good. And in that reading, I got that there was, and I don't remember the reading, but I remember the outcome. That yes, there was, that's what was going on. So, there's still all this talk of that, and energy shifts. We know that energy is always open to change. So that was quite a little while ago. So I'm going to read on that. I'm going to ask flat out, about the financial system. And I want to know, I guess what I want to know, and really what we should look into today is, are we going to have two financial systems running side by side? One that's bad, one that's good. Because I think, should I even say what I think? I think possibly that's already happening. But we just don't know it yet. So obviously the financial system that we're working with right now is set up to humanity's detriment. There's so much that they can do with that's nefarious. So to me, that already is the nefarious side of things. And I believe, because I've gotten it in my readings over and over and over again, that this other system is already in place. So if it's already in place and they're still like this, the other system may not be running yet, but it's there. So those things would still be running together, right? So I wonder if that's what's getting picked up on. But I guess, you know how I like to do this. I like to always ask about the bad side of things first. Because I just like to get that shit right out of the way, right? So I'm going to check in on that. And I'm hoping that the way the cards spread out, this can lead me into somebody else has a question. They had heard that the new system is coming into play this week. So they wanted me to check on that. Now, we've looked at money pretty closely here a couple of times just recently. And what I keep getting is that something has to end before this new system is going to come into play. But we don't know. We don't know, do we? Because the way we get our information, often it's late. We don't get information when it's really happening. This is quite a time that we're living in. And we never got information when it was really happening. And we always got lies given to us as truths. And so, you know, that's a whole other story, right? We talk about that all the time here on this channel. But, yeah, we don't know. Something could have ended, and we don't know yet. So if something did end, then possibly that could come forth this week. Or possibly energy shifted, and now they've decided they don't need to end something before they start something new. Although, usually throughout, that's the way things work, right? A door has to close for a new one to open. But we'll see. So I'm going to start with the question, and I don't want to label it. I'm going to label it nefarious, right? Just nefarious. And then the other one I'm going to label it as a positive system for humanity. Okay? So I'm going to start with, is there a nefarious financial system that is going to be up and running that may trick people into thinking it's good? I want to say that. Okay, so is there a nefarious financial system that will come into play that is going to trick people into thinking it's a good thing, when in fact it's the ultimate in debt enslavement? So, in other words, to my guides, are the bad guys' money system, is it the bad guys' money system, is it going to come into fruition? The new money system, not the current one that we've been using for ever. All right, let's see what we get there. Well, we're talking about the bad guys. We've got two ending cards. So, bad guys, tricky money system. Ended. That plan's not going to be able to happen, I don't believe. In this current timeline, the way the energy is right now, as of today, January 12th, 2023, this has ended. Their money system has ended. And it's a happy ending. It's a good thing that it did. So it can't, as of today, that can't happen. So no, we're not going to have to really worry about that so much. So what's driving this whole reading is that there were deals made, like a marriage happened. So people went in, things happened, deals were made, work was done. Things came out victorious. They ended a system, and then they worked together making deals on a new one. So then across from these guys, there's been a lot of strategy. There's been a lot of strategies. But above that, we got the abundance. And the King of Pentacles, he's abundant and he's good. He's caring. He's sharing. So he doesn't hoard it all to himself. You know what I mean? So this is prosperity. So lots of strategies and prosperity. So if you want to look at this with two ending cards, I would say no. It's very clear to me that the bad guys had a system. They did. That they wanted to use. But it's been ended. It can't happen. In this reading, that's what I'm getting. And again, endings. So we've got to, even if we read across, bad guys, endings, strategies. So they had several things in plan and they've ended. They can't go through with their nefarious intentions. That's what it's looking like to me. So there's no higher arcana card in this. So I would say, honestly, with this system that they were hoping for, that the New World Order was hoping for, I don't believe it ever held any type of real power at all. We haven't got one single higher arcana card in this. So, I'm just going to ask, just for clarity, off of this ending card, because this is a happy ending, good ending, came to an end, wish fulfillment, right? Feels good. A lot of feeling to that card, okay? So depending on how that was set up, it could also feel really bad because there's a lot of feeling to that card. It's an ending. But with this one here, it's like this was never going to work. The journey itself was just dead from the start. Those sticks never bloomed any life. And so why bother? Just pick up the sticks and move on because it's pointless. So I'm going to ask off of the pointless card, if there's any way that these nefarious people are going to be able to implement another plan as far as a shady system that will come in and trick people into thinking it's good when it's actually quite nefarious. So, because that's a dead stick, dead journey. So I'm going to ask if there's any possibility that they could bring forth another planned nefarious system. Or they completely been taken out of control enough so that can't happen. I think that's a good question, don't you? Well, they're looking at ways to do it. They want to do it. They want to. I said, is there any way that they can bring something in? And right now they're looking out and they're trying to, they're grasping at it. They want to bring it in fast. They're looking for ways to bring in a new system fast that would trick people into thinking that it was good, even if it was nefarious. And they're really contemplating it. They're thinking, how can we do this? They want to do it. They do. So I want to know, now that we know that, I want to know how can I word that? Will they be successful at implementing that? Will the bad guys be successful at implementing a nefarious financial system? Will the bad guys be successful at implementing a nefarious financial system? I mean, they're working on it. They're such scum. They're such scum. Will they be successful in that plot? Well, the good guys are on their feet at every moment. This is my good guy card. And he's just so noble. The King of Wands, the reason why this is always good, the King of Wands leads with the highest and greatest good for intentions, for not just himself, but for all. And he does that with passion and strength. The rods, the wands, whatever you want to call them, they're driven by fire. That's a passionate, fast-moving, strong energy. That's strength, baby. And he does not back down. He has the highest and greatest good for intentions, for all people, at all times. And he knows, because his heart is open, he's passionate. He knows that if the world is happy, then his life is good, right? And that's the ultimate goal, to have a good life. That's what we came here for. So, yeah, it would look as though the good guys are right on their heels with that. Healing everything that they do with every move. So now we've got the good guys and we've got the divine feminine. So they're working. As these guys are searching and looking, the good guys are like right on the heels, stomping things out. So right now, I would say this is a battle back and forth. This is still an ongoing battle, and the good guys are just stomping out anything that the bad guys are trying to implement. So am I correct in assessing that? Just give me a yes or a no. Let me see. Is that like a correct assumption? That it looks like it's an ongoing thing. What few bad guys are left, they're trying to do this as fast as possible. They're looking at ways, but the good guys are coming in and they're just like getting it. They're on top of it, like 2 steps ahead of these bad guys all the time, foiling their plans. Am I correct in saying that? I'm going to ask off the Empress, and I'm going to tell you why I've come to that conclusion. Because I know a lot of you guys are learning to read tarot, or you're interested in the tarot. And I don't read traditionally. I read what these cards mean to me. I have feelings and triggers around them. I read according to how they laid out. I've worked it out with my guides, how I want to talk with them and whatnot. But the reason why I'm telling you what I see in the cards is that the good guys are 2 steps ahead. It's because the bad guys didn't get one single higher arcana card. Not one, right? Weak. It's a weak journey for them. But the good guys get the divine healer. I mean, so the good guys are stronger in this case than the bad guys, right? So now I want to see, if this is just an ongoing thing right now in the energy where they're kind of doing battle, the good guys battling the bad guys as far as these finances go, to keep the bad guys' plan from implementing. So I'm just getting some clarity on what it is that I'm seeing there, okay? All right, let's take a peek, see what we get off of the Empress. Yeah, so it's an ongoing thing. They're holding on. So these bad guys are holding on for all they've got. And, they've worked hard. They don't want to let it go. So it's an ongoing battle. It's an ongoing battle, and we're strong. I was just, in my head, I'm thinking, are we going to win this? We're strong. We're stronger than they are. So, and if you think of that, we really are. I mean, we're in the time of the Great Awakening. Okay, this is a conscious wake up. This is a spiritual wake up. It's a heart opening experience. It's a consciousness opening experience. So this is the Great Awakening, and that means in every reading that we get, I mean, the universe, things are karmic. Things have come back around. It's our turn now. So we're on the side of strength now. This is our time. It's karmic. It's cosmic. It's some people would call it biblical. I don't care what you call it, but it's meant. It's meant. We came into Revelations. Geez, we're going into the 3rd year. We came into Revelations in 2019, the end of 2019, or the end of 2020. I've told you guys all before that these last couple of years have felt like decades to me. It's such an interesting time to be alive. Never before have I not been able to remember dates like this, but just energetically, it's been a heck of a ride, right? So yeah, we came into Revelations. I mean, we've got our Pluto return. There's so many things that are going on. It really is. It's just, it's cosmic. So we're strong, they're weak, they're scrambling to come up with a weak system that they think they can try to implement, and the universe just keeps saying no. We've got people and things in place to keep stomping this out. So that's next question. Now that we know that, we're going to ask, because we've been asking about the financial system that we all believe is coming into play. You know, when is that going to happen? The second question was different people, but same topic, right? Money. They had heard that this might be set up this week, and we had done a few readings, and we had seen that something was going to end. But like I said, possibly something has, and we don't know yet, right? So we're going to look at the money again, and we're just going to see, is this reset, is this new system that is for humanity's highest and greatest good going to be unfolded to us all this week? Will that start to unfold this week? We want to see. I mean, they originally wanted to bring this out in 2021. Had Trump stayed in, as the visual president. And I'm just going to put it that way, right? So, and then everything just got a little bit crazy, right? So let's see. This is January. I mean, it would be a good month to bring it out, but let's see. Is that going to be brought to us this week? Is the good financial system that is a very high frequency, that is for humanity's highest and greatest good, only and always, going to be rolled out this week in the month that we call January, in the year that we call 2023? Let's see. All right. Wow. You guys, we have 5 higher arcana cards in this reading. So see what I was just saying about the bad guys? They didn't get one higher arcana card in that reading about their financial system. And then when we started delving in, our side got those higher arcana cards, because we're strong here, right? So I asked if this new financial system that's high frequency, that has humanity's highest and greatest good for intentions, will be rolled out this week, right? In the month that we call January, in the year that we call 2023. And so I got the Chariot. The Chariot is a higher arcana card. It is moving forward, but above that I got Judgment. Okay? So they're still not doing it just yet. So it's moving forward. I believe it's all set up, you guys, this moving forward. And the time is being judged as to when to do it. And this is a big deal, because it's not just like, this isn't just like a lower arcana card holding on to or sitting and waiting. This is a higher arcana card saying Judgment. So they're either tweaking it, or there is a reason why it would not be appropriate to roll that out this week. And it's something big. It's something big. Like, it's a big deal, okay, you guys? All right. So what is driving this entire reading, what is driving this whole reading, the energy behind this reading, is abundance. So she is the Queen of Pentacles. She is sovereign. She's powerful. If she stands in her own power, she's powerful. She doesn't use that power against people. She's plenty abundant. She knows how to create abundance. So she she wishes it into being. She manifests it. She's a very powerful woman. You got to remember, these decks are old, and the women in these decks are like very powerful. They're very intuitive. You know, they're connected. They haven't forgotten their gifts, unlike us, right? Who they've been trying to get us to forget who we are and forget our gifts from the moment we're born, right? So she's very powerful. She just wishes it into being. This is driving the entire reading. You know, abundance. Easy to manifest abundance. So driving the whole reading is the abundance that wants to come forth, but there is a time to be still. And this would be the stillness, right? The stillness. Sitting and waiting. So they're sitting and they're waiting right now. They're shining a light on some things. They have to shine a light on some things first. And that makes perfect sense with they're not moving forward because things are being judged right now. They're being judged. They're trying to shine a light on some things first, you guys. Okay? All right. Across from moving forward, we got the other high arcana card, which is the moon. And the moon is, it crosses things over. So it stops things, right? It's uncomfortable and it ends things. Okay? So this is something has to end. And when it does, it is going to create a hell of a shift. Okay? So something is going to end and create a massive, massive shift. Right? So if you want me to read this across, we have some judgment going on. They're shining lights on things that's going to create a hell of a shift, cross things over, create a moment of stillness before they can move forward with abundance. So I'm getting the same story that I always get, not yet. So something has to end. And this is a reading that is like on Screech, right? Because I've peeked into this, I think, what have I peeked in? I've peeked into it twice recently. So when the universe gives me all of these higher arcana cards, it's on Screech. It's saying, listen, this is the deal. And until this happens, that's not going to happen. So, I mean, we know what needs to end because we got that in the last reading. They're going to crash that dollar. They have to break down the old system before the new systems come in, is what we keep getting. And it makes sense. And if we look at that first reading, and I said, you know, will the bad system be running alongside of the good system? No, they're trying to kill those systems. And the system that we're currently working with is not a good system. That's a bad system. So if the good guys are always in front of the bad guys, knocking out what they're trying to dream up, because the good guys are knocking out the system that we're currently using, you know, and all of this stuff that they're trying to, they want the old shit out of the way before they bring in the new shit. They don't want the nefarious things running side by side. That's what I'm gathering from like the last 3 readings that I've done. So I'm just going to ask off of the crossing over card, you know, what I just said. My guides and my highest version of self all heard that. Source heard that. Gauging by these 2 readings that we just did this morning, what we're getting here, and what we've gotten in the last, few readings that we've done. Are they still planning on, is the ending that has to happen that creates that huge shift, is that still the current financial system has to have a major crash? Now we're seeing it, it's crashing. We're seeing that, right? And maybe that's why people are thinking that the new system will be rolled out, because the old system's dying. It's kind of dead in the water already, really, if you look at it. But it hasn't completely crashed. And so I just want to know, is like off this ending the moon that crosses things over? I'm asking the universe to just clarify. I mean, it's not as if you didn't already. I understand with all of these higher arcana cards, but we're just asking, is it the financial system that we're currently using right now that has to cross over before this new system comes into place? Because we don't know. Could be something else that needs to end, right? We don't know. We just want to see. We're just going to clarify, because today is a new day and energy has shifted. So is that still, because that's what they told us before, but is that still the plan, right? Okay. Is it the financial system that has to be crossed over before all of this else, all the rest of this gets rolled out? Yes. The King of Wands, he needs to take out all the bad stuff. The bad guy's got to be crossed over. This bad financial system has to be crossed over, you guys. It's got to be. And I wonder if that is because as we looked at this, the first question, will people be tricked into using a bad system if that system is available? And what the good guys are trying to do is create something that is good for all of us. So I'm just going to ask, is that because, we want to make sure that all of humanity gets to benefit from the good financial system that's going to be rolled out? All of humanity. All of humanity. This is so much bigger than just you and I, and, so much bigger than just America or just, this country or just that country. This is the world. This is the cabal. This is it's huge. It's huge. So let's see. Is it because you want to make sure all people get to benefit from this new system? Yeah. They want to look out. Everybody should get a chance to be able to have the journey behind them, looking out at something fresh. Everybody should get that. Everybody. And celebrate. So you guys, that's what I'm getting. Okay? So yes, it's because they want to make sure that there's no other system in place that people would default to. Let's face it. I know a lot of people that aren't awake right now. And even when they start waking up, well, they're not awake. It's, I think everybody's awake to certain things, but not to others, and not to a big degree. Some people are very sleepy. They've got feelings around things, but they're not completely awake. You know what I mean? So you think about that. If you've had a system your entire life that you've always trusted, even if it crashes, and even if you're told that this is a bad system, and even if people are showing you that this is a bad system, your ego mind may default back to something that's very similar to that. So, or back to that. So if we're really trying to create something that is better for humanity and better for everybody, then we really do need to get that old stuff out so that people don't default back to that. Because how do you cut the head off a serpent? We've all discussed this. I mean, my friend and I just discussed this the other day. You've got to break their wallet, because without their money, there's no power. So if this old system is still in play, and it is, even though it's crashing, these bad guys still have access to money, right? And we're trying to cut the head off the serpent. We're trying to bring out a new system that it has everybody's best interest at heart. So it's, you know, they got to take out the old so that nobody defaults back to that. And gives these bad guys any more of their money, because we know they take your money, they say it's in your bank account, and they play with it. They do whatever they want with it. So we've got to deplete that system before that new system can roll out. And you know, think about that. Just really, really think about that. And it makes a lot of sense why that system has to be dead in the water completely. So I'm going to pull a light worker oracle card today. It's a beautiful deck. My son got it for me a long time ago. It is an absolutely beautiful deck, and I'm using it. I like to use it. It's just it's amazing, and I believe that all of us here on this channel are working for the light, right? We all have the greatest. We have dreams of a better world. We're sending love out there. We're excited for these new times. We want our kids and our grandkids and our great-grandkids to live a good life. You know, we don't want them to experience the things that we've experienced. We're excited about consciousness opening up. We're excited when we see someone's heart open. We're excited when people wake up, you know, spiritually, and they start realizing who they are really and why they came here. So this is a great deck, I think, for us. And I want my guides to give us all a piece of advice. I'm not going to read the whole thing to everybody because it is, you know, it'd be a page and a half or whatever. But I want to leave this reading with a piece of advice that piggybacks off of these financial readings. What does Spirit really want us to be focusing on right now? Okay? So we've asked about these finances over and over and over again, and that's because we know what a difference that is going to, like, that's going to be like a cleansing. And we're all like sort of like, we wanted that cleansing like 3-4 years ago, right? We've wanted it forever. So we're all excited about that to happen, because we know when that happens, we've really got this about wrapped up. And it will be like a cleansing, and it will change things for so many people. So what does Spirit really want us to focus on, you guys, right now? That can help move this along, maybe, or that can, you know, give us some insight or some clarity. What do they want us to focus on? The Earth transmission, you guys. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that really, really pretty? All right, so I'm gonna read you a little blurb of that. So the Earth transmission. And you know what? I bet if you get onto the internet and you type in this oracle deck, you'll be able to pull up that particular thing and read all of this. But I'm 38 minutes in, so I'm not going to read all of this to you. I'm going to read the very top. Okay? So your heart is capable not only of giving and receiving love, but of connecting you to a great network of beings that resonate in the highest frequencies of divine love. Through your heart, you can receive information and guidance from the network of light that fills our universe. And we can all do that, you guys. It just takes being still and learning how, and remembering that you can, and knowing that you can, all right? As you learn to open your heart to receiving these transmissions, your ability to work with group consciousness in a loving way increases. You shall affect humanity in a loving way, influencing the collective rather than allowing the lower frequencies of the collective to overwhelm you. So basically what this card is telling us is that we need to stay heart-centered, just like we always say at the end of these videos, you know, send love out, fill yourself with love, open your heart, connect to your highest version of self, to source energy, to your highest guides, you know, ask for help in doing that, lift your vibration, put that healing into the earth. See it going out. See it touching everything, going out into the ethers and touching all of that as well. Really lift your frequency. Keep your thoughts where you want them to be, right? We'll keep envisioning this world that we want. We shift things. We change things when we do that. We're being told once again, and just in a different way, that we're powerful and use that for the betterment of humanity and humanity's consciousness. So, let's keep being there, right? In our heart space and sending all of that out and knowing that we've got this and knowing, a lot of people are probably, even people that are awake, are probably really afraid of what it's going to look like when that dollar crashes and when these systems bottom out for good. Because it's hard to imagine, we don't have a lot of contrast there. And I'm sure a lot of people are kind of scared of the times ahead, right? That fear in itself can block things from happening at an accelerated rate. That's why from the very onset of all of this, my guides have consistently said, do not walk with fear. And, fear will block things quicker than anything else. So let's not fear that. Let's just project that as an amazingly exciting event. And let's rock and roll into the next phase of things from there. So I hope that you both found some value in that. And my friend was over the other day and he said you don't ever ask anybody to like or whatever. Like, share, subscribe, all of that. And it's because when you're doing this type of work, you're not really thinking of the 3D stuff. Now, a while back, I had a little note made, and somewhere along the line, the note disappeared. So he told me to bring back another note, and I did. And I just happened to look down at it and see it. So I'm just going to go ahead and say this. If you found value in this, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you want to be notified for all of my readings when they come out, you've got to hit the all. Even if it already says, even if that's already highlighted, you actually have to hit it for it to, notify you of all the readings. Go ahead and comment. When you do that, when you hit the like, when you leave a comment, when you share the video, when you subscribe to the channel, when you hit all notifications, it helps the algorithm. So it helps spread the word and it helps get the video circulated more. It helps the intentions get out there. It just helps. It just helps you guys. So, if you find value in this, go ahead and please do all of that for me, if you would. All right. So until next time, you guys, I hope that you found some value in this. I hope this answered the questions that you were looking for. And much, much love. Many, many blessings. Always, always, always. From me to all of you. Stay in that love vibration. Let's keep doing this. We got this. We got this, you guys. All right. Until next time. Much love.